A brief message from your friendly neighborhood editing Jordan. This is your content warning. We try to keep things PG-13 around here. However, certain among us have a proclivity towards foul language and foul humor. So viewer discretion is advised. This is your only warning. While we're at it, I should probably note that any opinions stated about a certain tabletop role-playing game are just that, our opinions. We have been longtime fans and players of the game, and so we have a vested interest in how game mechanics work, and as a hobby in our group, we enjoy yelling at each other over rules interpretations. So everything that we say is all in good fun. With that in mind, however, I will still ask, Wizards, please hire us. Well, with that out of the way, enjoy the show.
I know, you see.
There's a countdown instead of a scary robot lady. Oh, dang it, your war is over.
And I win.
There's no more robot lady.
Is it that you won, or is it more like we retreated to a different place where she wasn't?
Truly, I believe what happened is I won, but at what cost, you know?
I don't know. I don't know
what
the
did
cost
you do
is.
to the robot lady?
Yeah, no, I don't.
It's like
concerned.
I finally got rid of her, but I am a shell of myself without my nemesis. She defined who I was.
Today,
Like
my
how
arch
Batman
nemesis
and the
told me
Joker
that I
can't
wasn't
exist
his
with
arch
each
nemesis,
other.
I was just his nemesis.
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to the Nat One Podcast, aka Nope, because nope, you're not gonna want to hear what we're about to have to say. I'm Pertuset.
I'm Levi.
And I'm Jordan.
You get
You
it.
have one without the other.
Yeah.
That's not what today's episode is about.
Nemesis.
Well, no, it is. Because it's about our blood feud with Wizards of the Coast again.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna like this one, guys. I'm telling you.
Well, didn't Dylan say it wasn't that bad?
It's
do
Dylan
have a
saying
history of disagreeing with Dylan's opinions
I
on
know.
these things, though.
But he's the artificer.
We'll see.
I'm just telling myself. I'm. What's the word? I'm willing it into existence right now. that I'm
Gaslighting
gonna
yourself?
Like this one. I'm bringing it into being that I'll enjoy this one, so that it'll happen.
For me, my expectations are already like here. So if they go beneath that, I really don't care.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah. Today we're going over the Ep.144 UA that came out just a little bit ago. Now it's been like a week or two, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. More D&D content for your ravenous. I'm not gonna finish this statement.
Perusal? Watching enjoyment?
Yeah, that's better. That's better than what I was gonna say.
All right. Well.
Oh my goodness, did he just become really quiet for
He
you too?
did get really quiet, yes.
Okay, listen.
It did the thing.
Wait.
He was
can I
messing
fix
with
that
something.
now? Can we try this? Did that do anything?
Nope.
No.
Did that do anything?
Nope.
Did that do anything?
Nope.
Is that gonna do anything?
Yes.
Okay. Weird. Without the Discord, that's much weirder.
No, you're still quiet now. You went back to being
It
quiet.
flipped.
Now, see, I don't have it separate, so now, like, wait, can I? No. It's like, I have no choice. I have to make you guys loud and myself loud. With Discord, I had a choice.
We should always be loud.
I don't want that. Well, in any case. Eberron. You guys know a lot about Eberron?
Oh.
I know a little bit about Ep.144. Not too much. I know it's weird.
It gave us Warforged.
That's Warforged and Changeling, I think, are both in that book.
It's weird and steampunky and not at the same time. I think it's a pretty cool setting from what I've read, but I haven't delved too deep into it. But the basic gist of Eberron is long time ago, there was a big war. And it's called the Last War. And now everyone is living in it's like a post-apocalypse. So, like, the war made everything bad and awful, but now, like, we got over it. It's done. Like, the bad stuff. There's still stuff that, like, lingers around from the apocalypse, but it's like, we're fine now. And we're back into, like, a medieval society. And it's like a mix of... I don't even know if you would say high fantasy, but it is very fantasy, as well as like steampunk sci-fi as well. I think it combines the three in an interesting way. But yeah, that's what in Eberron, that's what the Warforged are from. It's like heavily hypothesized that they were like a robot army in the last war.
Yeah.
Because there's also giant Warforged that are like derelict corpses that dot the world that were like titans. So
It's like the Iron Giant.
kinda.
I love the Iron Giant.
Well,
And that's also where, like, the dragon marks come from, is Eberron. That was a thing for a while. There was a race you could play that was a dragon-marked person. Stuff like that, yeah.
either way, we're going to read about whatever they've done to Eberron today in this UA.
Yeah, does Wizards own Eberron?
I guess so.
I thought that Eberron
I
was
think
a
they own
third-party
everything.
setting.
I don't know. I'm assuming it must not be. If I remember correctly, it was made independently, but then I think they bought it or published it or something.
Eberron is a campaign setting for D&D.
All right, well,
Eberron
he's
was
reading
created
that.
by author and designer Keith Baker as the winning entry for the Wizards of the Coast fantasy setting search competition in 2002 to establish a new setting for the D&D game. So, okay, it was made with
Yeah.
the intent.
It's like that. I think that and Dragonlance were both winners of those competitions,
Yeah.
where they were made independently and then
It was
submitted
made
to
with
Wizards.
the intent of Wizards having it
Yes.
afterwards.
Right. Well,
Gosh, I didn't realize Eberron was that old.
yeah. I suppose it's probably better to analyze these updates within the context of Eberron as it has been. I don't have that information. I'm not going to seek out that information. And for all intents and purposes, I don't care about that information. I only worry about what this update could mean for D&D in a broader context for what my players can do in a homebrew setting.
This is going to be the Forgotten Realms thing all over again.
Yes.
We don't know canon D&D.
I know a little bit.
Sorry. But let's see. What's inside? Artificer class appears again, with some updates since its last appearance in the Unearthed Arcana. They get a new subclass, Cartographer.
Cartography.
Additional magic options. New spell and magic magic items compatible with the Artificer. And Dragon Marks, a collection of feats.
I wasn't aware that there were magic items the Artificer wasn't compatible with.
Yeah, they don't need them. So we'll see how that goes.
There's the Dragon Marks. That's the thing I talked about. I talked about that like 2 minutes ago. That's the Dragon Marks.
Don't believe you.
Did you? I didn't hear it.
So, Artificer. Is there anything... Where's the little thingy where they're like...
I don't know
What-
that they
what we
gave it
changed.
one. I'm not seeing it.
I see it when I scroll down past their big table.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
What can you say about Artificer?
Let's see what it says here. Tinker's magic instead of magical tinkering. Oh, thank goodness. Now gives the mending cantrip. And items created with this feature last until you finish a long rest. Okay, I'm going to go and beeline to that and read it. It's a level 1 feature. Magic action. While holding Tinker's tools, you create one item in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of yourself. And they're all like... basic equipment. We got torch, bedroll, blanket, bucket, crowbar, caltrops, paper, oil, parchment, pole, rope. So,
Oh, let me do the standard while you're doing that and pull up the old one alongside it.
I was gonna say I don't know what magical tinkering used to do. What made it different?
In 2014, well, actually, probably not 2014 because it came out. The official one that wasn't the Eberron one came out with Tasha's. But regardless, the old one, you learn how to invest a spark of magic into mundane objects. To use this ability, you must have thieves' tools or artisans' tools. Then you touch a tiny non-magical object as an action and give it the following magical properties.
Yeah, you couldn't just create stuff. It was like you can make this cube glow or meow like a cat or...
Yep. The tungsten cube of non-verbal sounds.
I see.
Can we have that? I feel like that would be really funny.
Tungsten's heavy. I don't know if you
I
want
know.
that.
No, that's what Taryn has asked for Christmas for the next year, and my parents are like, "Why do you need a tungsten cube?" And his reasoning was because it would be funny, because it would
They're
be small
also
but highly dense.
really expensive.
I'm aware.
Like,
that's why he's
one
not
that's
getting
like
a tungsten
this
cube for
big
Christmas.
is like $2,000.
Yeah, that's
So-
why he's not getting a tungsten cube.
And that's why it's not on the Tinker's Magic table, because that would be really, really easy to dupe money with.
True.
Replicate magic items. Table has been revised. You can now use a wand or weapon created by this feature as a spellcasting focus. Okay. Look how long that feature is.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Sorry, I was just cross-referencing with the regular old artificer, and I just very faintly heard Pertuset's noise that he was making.
No, I'm there
without
with
any
him. It's
visual
a lot.
indication.
It's a lot of information.
Okay.
Let me look at this.
Yeah. Takes up like 2 pages. Well,
You can make a lamp, though.
I'm going to take them at their word and assume that all they've changed is they've revised the table and made wands or weapons spellcasting foci. I don't want to read all that. It recommends bag of holding, cap of water breathing, sending stones, and wand of the war mage +1.
Those are very good early level items.
But basically, choose 4 plans to learn from a table. And when you gain an artificer level, you can replace one of the plans with a new plan. And as you level up, you unlock new plans.
Are you telling me
not
we could have just
familiar.
been making sending stones?
I'm not sure, because I don't think that's how it works in the old one. I don't.
Okay.
I think so, but I think not quite at this level. Maybe, I don't know. Or at least not at Brandon's level. But that might
We need
also
to
be
give
a new addition.
everyone that we're in touch with like 4 sending stones, just like on a chain, so we can have an actual conversation.
It would be quite handy. However... Oh, wait, no. No, it stays in place until you die. Or
Dang.
replace a plan. And not even actually when you die. It's when you die 1d4 days afterwards.
So you got time to find a replacement.
Yes. Looking for Artificer.
That's I
DM
meant
if
for the
interested.
item, not the person.
Oh.
That's funnier though. That's a better take.
We're looking at the level 2 feature, the
Yep,
replicate magic
magic
item.
item.
Yeah, no, this is not a thing that old artificer could do at all.
No.
I thought there was
Theirs
a thing where an
theirs
artificer
is
could make a
infusions.
bag of, that's what it is. Because I thought
They
bag of
can-
holding was one of those. That
It's
they could
it's
make.
very similar to the one we just talked about, the magical tinkering, where it's they take an already existent item and they apply this one of these things generally. Although
Gotcha.
actually, not generally, because it's a much shorter list to them. Like they can make armor +1 armor. And they can make a weapon a +1 weapon. I don't think they can do sending stones, though. From what I'm reading here, it doesn't seem like it.
Oh, I see why. It's because this is their last update since the last Unearthed Arcana. Not from their just existence. Already makes them better. In so many ways. You get silly stuff. Well, no, you can just straight up get armor +1, so... Seems like this is just straight better.
Yeah, in this you make the item, it seems. Yeah, creating an item.
Wand of magic missiles.
It's a shame that Dylan didn't want to do the 2024 Artificer.
Is it even... I don't even know if it's on D&D Beyond to use.
I don't know either. Anyway.
The 2024 version is not yet.
No. It also got Magic Item Tinker, which is different from Tinker's Magic, as well as different from Magical Tinkering. They couldn't think of like any other words, huh? Like
nope, there are 4 words that go with Artificer.
It's called a thesaurus. You can get one at your local library. It has been expanded to allow you to recharge magic items by expending spell slots and transform one magic item into a different item. Okay, where's this one at? Magic Item Tinker. There it is. Don't want to get it twisted.
Level 6.
Bonus action, you can touch a magic item within 5 feet of yourself that you created with Replicate Magic item and uses charges. You recharge the item and expend a level 1 plus spell slot. Number of charges the item regains is equal to the level of spell slot expended. I mean, interesting. I guess it depends on what magic well, I don't know, actually. It has to be an item you made that uses charges, and you have to spend 1 spell slot for 1 charge.
Yeah.
That better be a really useful charge.
Yeah.
To be worth a spell slot.
I see what they're trying to go for. They're trying to incentivize more of like you're an artificer, use your magical items rather than spell casting. But
battery.
Yeah, that is like the payoff there. It's got to be a pretty useful magical item.
It'd be one thing if they were a full caster, but they're not.
Yeah.
So it ain't even all that great. But sure, like I said, you might in your campaigns have access well, no, again, it's not some item you get, it's an item you make.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really only the stuff in this table. But, again, you might get something really good, I don't know.
Which, as I'm looking through it, there doesn't seem to be a lot of things in this table that actually use charges, at least from what I know, knowing these magic items. Perhaps the new ones that appear in this UA do.
There's the Wand of Magic Missiles and the Wand of Web.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of these, I don't even know what they do. The Eyes of Charming, the Eyes of Minute Seeing, the Lantern of Revealing, Pipes of Haunting.
But there's also a lot of stuff that's just like, here's a thing that's just a flat bonus, like Shield +1, Weapon +1, Wand of the War Mage +1, Wraps of Unarmed Power +1.
True. Well, there's also the Wand of Magic Detection and the Wand of Secrets. That's not bad. But, still, the fact that it has to be something that you make. But that's just part of Magic Item Tinker. There's also Drain Magic Item.
I'm a little more on board with that. I was reading through that while you guys were talking. It looks pretty cool.
As a bonus action, you touch a magic item within 5 feet of yourself that you created with Replicate Magic Item and cause the item to vanish, converting its magical energy into a spell slot. The slot is level 1 if the item is common, or level 2 if the item is uncommon or rare. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Any spell slot you create with this feature vanishes when you finish a long rest. It's alright, you have essentially created these magic items into sorcery points, is what they've done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Which, better for the Artificer than for the Sorcerer because of the exact reason that the charge is not as good because they're not a full caster. So a 1st or 2nd level spell is infinitely more beneficial to them than it would be to a Sorcerer who has up to 9th level spells.
I think that's kind of a cool idea to be able to burn magic items to get power back. That's they did something similar to that in the new Dimension 20 season for Misfits and Magic. It was cool.
I love Baldur's Gate 3! I love Baldur's Gate 3! I love Baldur's Gate 3!
I think it's good, but I agree with Pertuset that it's very limited by the fact that it has to be one they made.
Yeah.
I think removing that restriction on both of these things would open it up infinitely and make it a lot better of a feature.
I also feel like if you're going to start burning items that you didn't make, then that goes for good party interaction and roleplay potential. Because it's like, give me all your magic items so I can use their spell slots. And then it's like, dude, what? No.
Yeah.
The other thing worth mentioning is the fact that at the completion of every long rest, the Artificer can make up to 2 items from this, which that means that they essentially have 2 bonus spell slots every day at any point they want to use them.
Yerp.
Sorcerers don't get that. But it's interesting. Still doesn't make them very good. Their spell list isn't that great.
Yeah.
So it's rarely often that they're going to want to use either one. But hey, I'm all for more options for the character. And then there's still one more feature from this feature. The creature feature. Transmute magic item. As a magic action, you already do all that stuff. With an item that you made from the thing, transform it into a different magic item. Simple enough. It has to be a magic item plan you already know. That one's simple.
And you can do it once per long rest.
Yep, all of these, except for the charge one. The drain and the transmute are both once per long rest. Anyway. So. What else did they change? Soul of Artifice now lets you disintegrate any number of items to increase the number of regained hit points and allows for more reliable usage of Flash of Genius. Flash of Genius, we've already seen that in our campaign.
Yeah. It actually got used pretty heavily recently.
Yeah.
When someone fails an ability check or saving throw, you can take a reaction to add a bonus to the roll, potentially causing it to succeed. The bonus equals your intelligence modifier. You take this reaction a number of times equal to your int modifier. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. All that to say, look at Soul of Artifice. Cheat death. If you reduce to 0 hit points but not killed outright, you can disintegrate any number of uncommon or rare magic items created by your replicate magic item feature. If you do so, you instead drop to a number of hit points equal to 20 times the number of magic items disintegrated. Wow.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Magical guidance. Whenever you use your Flash of Genius and the affected ability check or saving throw still fails, that use of Flash of Genius isn't expended if you have attunement to at least one magic item. Meh. Strange to tag that on at level 20, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
seems more
it feels like
14.
Yeah, I would put that in
like
the
a mid-level
mid-uppers.
thing.
Yeah. But, okay. It's just really funny that the two things from level 20 are cheat death and magical guidance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would tag that on to maybe like level 14 with magic item savant.
That's what I was thinking. All right.
Hey, we're forgetting the
base
most
class.
important part though. That is completely new.
Yeah, what?
It's brand new. Level 19.
What?
Oh no.
They
What
get
is
an epic boon.
Yo, epic boon. Boon's so epic. They had to name it twice. Okay.
And the boon of energy resistance is recommended. I don't even know what that one does.
I don't remember.
makes
We went through them at one point.
Never mind, I'm not going to say it. Well, thankfully they are attached here. We get a spell list for the Artificers. Not going to go over all of it. They are still half casters. It looks like a lot of their spells are support spells. They have a single damaging spell at level 5 they can get. Levi's looking distressed.
Why does True Strike require specific material components?
Because it sucks.
Well, they changed it. They changed it in 2024, but I can't remember the change anymore. I just remember we said that it was decent now.
I think it was less bad in 2024, but it is dumb that it requires material components.
At level 4th level spells, Artificer can get Summon Construct, Mordenkainen's Faithful Hound, and that's it. Those are the only 2 damaging spells. 3rd level Elemental Weapon, technically. Glyph of Warding, technically. That's it. Yeah, very very few damaging spells, which is fine. That's not their thing. It's just interesting.
Do they get catapult still? No, they took away catapult.
Not a
That's
real spell.
upsetting.
Not a real spell. You see this? Acid Splash, Firebolt, real cantrips. Everything else, mental illness.
Poison spray.
Exactly. We've seen firsthand that that's mental illness. So yeah. Wall of Stone.
They get Spare the Dying now.
Thank God our level 17 Artificer cost Wall of Stone. Now they'll never get to us. Oh, that's right. We're fighting an ancient dragon. It simply burst through it.
Not even
go
flies
around?
over it, just bursts through it.
Yeah.
Just straight up.
Thank goodness I let him get rid of my +3 greatsword for him to cast that.
Oh.
Oh,
That does
again,
sound like something we would do.
I'm gonna be honest. the way I see it, Artificer and Bard are two sides of the same coin. They're both designed or meant to be the support buffing class. The Artificer is so weak comparatively that they fit that niche because they're never going to steal the limelight from anybody because they just can't. They don't have enough resources to be a powerhouse or to be the spellcaster savant of the group. They just can't do it. Whereas the Bard is the other option. They're designed to be a support, but they have all the tools in the toolkit to be the best caster on your team and the best fighter on your team at the same time. So, kind of got to level that playing field a little bit, I feel like. But, oh well, I'm not too upset with this so far. Let's read about that subclass now.
Yeah, we still got an entire subclass to get through.
They get tool proficiencies. Yay!
Chart advantageous courses through turmoil.
No.
Correct. Get a tool proficiency. In addition, when you scribe a spell scroll using the crafting rules in the player's handbook, the amount of time required to craft it is halved. Interesting. We've just rarely played with that rule. Be interesting to play with it more. Cartographer spells. When you reach an artificer level specified in the cartographer spells table, you thereafter always have the listed spells prepared. Additional spells. Sure. You get a good chunk of them.
Guiding Bolt is a good one.
Mind
Fairy
Spike.
Fire is a pretty decent one.
Freedom of movement is one they already could have. It's just now one that they...
Always have.
Yeah.
Teleportation circle.
And scrying at level 17. But sure. They are a half-caster after all. Adventures Atlas. Yeah. Whenever you finish a long rest while holding Cartographer's tools, you can use that tool to create a set of magical maps by touching at least 2 creatures. One of whom can be yourself. What?
Yeah,
Okay,
we
I'll keep reading. It's just acting. It's a little strange for me, but okay. Up to a maximum number of creatures equal to 1 plus your intelligence modifier. Each target receives a magical map, which is ineligible. So strange to say. To all others, the maps last until you die or until you use this feature again, at which point any existing maps created by this feature immediately vanish. While carrying the map, a target gains the following benefits. A target adds a d4 to its initiative rolls. That's called awareness. Aware. Positioning. The target knows the location of all other map holders that are on the same plane of existence as itself. When casting a spell or creating an effect that requires being able to see the target, a map holder can target another map holder regardless of sight, as long as the other map holder is still within the spell or effect's range. Actually pretty good, I think.
It is.
I do have one thing though.
Flavorful.
This is just a dumb thing. My brain thought of. It says when you finish a long rest while holding cartographer's tools. My brain just thought of they have to keep them under their pillow, and then in the morning they get up and it's like, I can make a map now, guys.
That's what I thought, because in that same sentence it says by touching at least 2 creatures. So I thought you had to hold cartographer's tools, touch yourself, and lay your hand that's holding the cartographer's tools
somebody else
on your buddy and go to sleep.
I'm assuming that's not how it works, but the wording of it, I'm just imagining a cartographer cuddled up with their compass, fast asleep.
Their compass and their map buddy.
Yeah. No, you don't understand. The spooning is part of the ritual.
We have to spoon. Jesse. We need to spoon. If you want my map. Okay.
I have no maps. This very much feels to me like one of those features that it's like every morning the artificer's just going to be like, I give everyone a map.
Yes. I'm okay with that, though.
Give everyone a new map.
I like it. It's a small little bonus that doesn't require any resources. I like that. And it offers a small buff. Nothing crazy at level 3. Although I am at the point where I'm like some of this I'm like, what's the deal with the map? You know what I mean? Like, what's on the map? What am I looking at? Where are we going somewhere?
It's the map.
Very detailed drawing of where you are.
It's the map.
I kind of feel like it's just like a kid's scribbling doodle of all of us.
I'm the map. I'm the map.
It just says my friends.
Or it's like, you know what like restaurant, like when Olive Garden used to have the kids menu that was like the map of Italy, but it was horribly inaccurate. It's like that. But
Yeah. True, it would be pretty hard to make a map while you're cuddling someone. Okay, also at level 3, though, you get scouting gadgets. Boosto. On your turn, you can expend half your movement to teleport to an unoccupied space you can see within 10 feet of yourself. You can't use this benefit if your speed is 0.
That's
Sure.
what?
you can expend half your movement to move 10 feet.
But it's teleporting.
But if my movement is 40
So if there's
feet,
a 5-foot gap,
Yeah. Well, you can expend half your movement, so I guess you can move half and then use this. But either way, the way I see it is like if you're surrounded, right?
that too.
okay.
Teleport out of the way, then move. Or not even if you're surrounded, but if you're within attack of opportunity range, teleport away first. Sure, but that's just part of it. It also gets a radar. You can cast Fairy Fire without spending a spell slot.
I want to know how scouting gadgets make you teleport.
You're just really good at scouting.
That's actually a really good
I
question.
don't know.
Because it doesn't say, like, you do a thing that is the equivalent of teleporting. No, it says you teleport.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody else worries as much about the artificer flavor as Dylan does, which I think is
Yeah.
unfortunate because nobody else thinks through, like, how does this actually work within the context of me being an alchemist? Like, yeah. They're just not
That's
thinking
one of
through
those
their own
things.
mechanics.
How does this work within the context of them being a cartographer?
They're just a
Well,
really
that's
good
one of those
cartographer.
things. This is what they get for being like, yeah. We're gonna make a new magic casting class whose whole thing is that they don't do magic.
And they forgot the don't do magic part.
You get to figure out the fun part. Because, like, any other class, wizard, sorcerer says, I use magic. Whereas the artificer has to be like, no, it's not magic. I jump on a pole, a long pole, and move 10 feet over.
So does this mean that they're just like really good pole vaulters because they're scouts?
Yes.
Okay. Then we figured
They're
it
in a
out.
crow's nest. Yeah.
Momentarily for just the movement in your 6-second turn.
Yes.
The pole's a special pole that negates all opportunity attacks, though.
Exactly. It's a magic item, which you can create not through magic, but with cartographer's tools. Actually, no, you can. With tinkerer's tools.
Why does a cartographer know how to make a magic pole?
You don't know what he does in his off time.
So he can teleport.
I thought it wasn't teleporting. I thought...
Anyway, at level 5, you get portal jump.
At level 5, you get to teleport more.
Yes.
What's the
As a bonus action,
cartographer?
you teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier. You regain all expended uses on a long rest. Same thing happened with radar earlier, by the way,
Now-
with the fairy fire.
I will give this one the benefit of the doubt because it's called portal jump, so it's a little bit more in line
Where's the
with
portal
teleporting
coming
than
from?
scouting gadgets is.
I'm here for the actual. I think it's a cool game mechanic, but my question is, why is this the cartographer's ability?
Why does a cartographer teleport? Why?
I
The
don't get this whole idea
cartographer
with the
charts the
cartographer.
the relation between space and time, and then just defies the relation between space and time.
It makes me think of that Lord of the Rings meme of why didn't the Eagles just, and then it's like that giant mathematic equation and it's got the map of Middle Earth flipped, like folded over itself
Yeah.
with a like Newtonian space portal going through it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm envisioning right now is what the cartographer does.
Yeah, that is. Oh, well, okay, sure. Interesting though, a lot of movability. Forgot to mention you can also use this ability without expending a use if the destination space is within 5 feet of a creature carrying a map created with your adventurer's atlas. Doing so destroys the map that creature carries.
That's cool.
It's something. It's fun. It's interesting. Not particularly strong, but not bad.
Nobody plays the
60 feet
artificer because they
teleportation.
want to be strong. Let's be honest.
Very true.
Unless you don't know that the artificer's not strong.
Well, bad
Skill
choice.
issue.
You probably should have inferred when the subclass was called cartographer that it wasn't going to be that great.
You thought the map guy was gonna be the tank?
Oh, well. Level 9, Ingenious Movement. When you use your Flash of Genius, you or a willing creature of your choice you can see within 30 feet of yourself can teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see as part of that same reaction. Cool! I could have used that. Why isn't Dylan a cartographer?
Just make him change it.
Please? Dang.
This goofy map maker class does not exist in my world.
I'm loving it. All this teleporting around. It sounds so funny. The battlefield would look ridiculous.
The thing for me is like I'm like trying to get Dylan moded with it and be like, how does this look with them being so I'm just imagining this cartographer furiously scribbling maps.
Yeah, I'm
like,
also getting
whole
stuck
time
on that.
through combat and then like hopping through them like a cartoon character to appear somewhere else on the battlefield.
You forgot about the crow's nest.
You forgot about the magic pole.
And
sorry.
Don't forget, they also might use a spyglass.
Oh yeah.
So that could help. Level 15, Superior Atlas is their last feature. Your Adventurer's Atlas improves, gaining the following benefits. So it is. Safe Haven. When a map holder is reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, that creature can destroy its map. Oh. The creature is then teleported to an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you or another map holder of its choice and is stable. Wow, that's pretty good.
I like that. That's cool.
Unerring Path. If you are one of the map holders for your Adventurer's Atlas, you can cast Find the Path without expending a spell slot, without preparing the spell, and without needing spell components.
Wow.
Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. What does that spell even do again?
It basically, like, you say, I want to go to this place, and it shows you how to go to that place.
Okay.
It's like, what's that spell in Skyrim? Clairvoyance, that shows you, like, the path to your quest. It's like that.
Okay. Not awful. Certainly could be useful in some instances. And more than anything, it's actually flavorful and makes sense for a map.
Yep.
Unshakable Mind as well. While at least one map created with your Adventurer's Atlas still exists, taking damage can't cause you to lose concentration on your Artificer spells. Also pretty good if Artificer spells were good.
Yeah.
No. Some of these are still not bad, though. Like Haste. That could be pretty bad to lose concentration on, so not being able to lose it is pretty good. I like that. I like it.
I'm not mad.
Haters are gonna hate me. I like this subclass.
I still question the flavor, but some of the abilities are really cool.
I think it's good. I do think it's cool and funny. The flavor is goofy, but
that's okay. They're trying something new with the Artificer. I'll give them that because I feel like they kind of did reach the fantasy fulfillment peak with them with the Tasha's ones. Because what else can you do with the Artificer other than what's already there?
You could completely rework it, which is what we've talked about. But like that's completely reworking it, and I don't think they want to do that.
Oh, there's a bunch of spells. I don't think we need to read through. Oh well, no, there's not. There's only one.
No, there's more than one.
There is?
Oh wait, no, there is only one. There's
long.
more underneath that though. I thought they were spells, but they're not. But there is just more underneath it.
I don't know if we read this before, but you get a homunculus servant.
Just in case you needed to know, the spells are presented in alphabetical order.
All one of them. Sure.
You can summon a homunculus.
Second level spell. It's not bad, I guess. For the most part. Don't matter. It does have that one feature.
I'm reading this, and I think it's just a reworked class feature that they made into a spell.
That's what I'm thinking, because it sounds like John.
Our Artificer has this, but it's just not a homunculus. It's just a construct, but it works like 99% the same way.
Yep. But hey. Sure. Now it's a spell. I actually don't hate that either.
Yeah.
This way
they just did basically the same thing they did with Paladin Smites and simplified it because they were like, why isn't this a spell? It uses spell slots.
Exactly. And like I said, now the Bard can take the spell and be a better Artificer.
Yep.
Magic items. There's some different ones here. Do we have to read all of these?
I was going to say we just flip to Dragon Marks because that's like the next most pressing thing for this, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of these... What I'll say is I think we should read the ones that are specifically from this UA because some of them are and some of them are not. So we've got the Manifold Tool, the Repeating Shot, the Returning Weapon, the Boots of the Winding Path, Mind Sharper. Some of these actually already exist in regular D&D. I don't know why they say appear in this UA, because they might just be that those are the only ones that they have. So why did they? What? Now I'm confused. Why did they pick this selection specifically for the UA?
No clue.
Confusion. Oh well. I'm looking at any of the ones that have charges because that correlated to the Artificer class.
True.
Repulsion Shield has charges. You can push a creature away. You can take a reaction after being hit by a melee attack to push a creature 15 feet away. I've already had my discussions with TJ about this. I despise pushing and pulling mechanics in D&D.
Yeah?
Because they suck. They always will.
They're not very good.
Unless you can push or pull a creature by a magnitude of like 100 feet, they'll never matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got to be able to push over a average walk speed.
Precisely. Oh, God bless you.
Gesundheit.
You just pushed your arm 5 feet away.
Making a magic item that specifically pushes enemies 31 feet away.
Yes,
That'd be really
sir.
funny.
I know that's right.
Because that's still less than my walking speed.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
said
what makes it funny.
average walking speed, Jordan.
I know.
Anything else has a charge? Radiant Weapon has a charge. You can make someone get blinded. Alright. Mind Sharpener.
Sharpens the mind.
Just imagining
It
an
can-
abnormally large, like comically large pencil sharpener.
Oh. You just stick your head on in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was a good image.
Yeah. I don't think that's
Is it
the
an
Mind
electric
Sharpener.
pencil sharpener or is it a
Oh, it's one of the
manual?
old school ones that you had to like twist.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Can make you succeed concentration. He takes a reaction, and when you would have failed concentration, you succeed it instead. Alright. And that's all the stuff with charges. On to the feats.
How many feet?
Several feats. So, Aberrant Dragon Mark. New alphabetically first feat, question mark.
Yeah.
You get a lot, it looks like anyway. Aberrant Fortitude. When you make a con saving throw, roll a d4, add the number rolled to the save. You can do this number of your proficiency bonus per long rest. Aberrant Magic. You know a cantrip of your choice from the Sorcerer spell list. Also choose a level 1 spell from that spell list. You always have that spell prepared. You can cast it once without a spell slot, and you gain the ability to cast it in that way when you finish a short or long rest. You can also cast it with any other spell slots you have. Constitution is your spell casting ability for this spell.
That's interesting.
I think that's like their whole thing with the new sorcerer, if I remember right. When you cast the level 1 spell from this feat, you can expend one of your hit point dice and roll it. If you roll an even number, you gain a number of temporary hit points equal to the number rolled. If you roll an odd number, one creature within 30 feet of you, not including you, takes force damage equal to the number rolled. Really weird.
That is interesting.
All of that from one feat. Only prerequisite is you can't have another dragon mark. It's all a bunch of small stuff, which I guess makes sense for a feat. But I feel like no one's going to take this unless they, in their mind, really want to have an aberrant dragon mark. If you're, like, really
Yeah.
familiar with the setting. Because a lot of this doesn't make that big of a difference.
It's
or if you
part
really
of
want
my
a sorcerer
character.
spell. Yeah,
Yeah,
you want that
it
cantrip, don't you?
kind of feels like it's supposed to like fit in with a wild magic kind of sorcerer, right? Like it feels like this is supposed to add on to what already exists with the wild magic side of wild magic sorcerer, but at the same time kind of not, because it specifically gets you a spell from the sorcerer spell list. So I don't know.
It's just a weird thing as far as I'm concerned. I never really understood the dragon marks in the first place, though. But anyway,
Mark
No.
of the dragon.
no mark of detection. Same thing. Can't have another dragon mark. Deductive intuition. When you make a wisdom, insight, or perception check, add a d4. Okay, I feel like this is going to be a theme. Magical detection. You always have the detect magic and detect poison and disease spells prepared. You can cast each spell once without a spell slot. You gain the ability to cast it when you finish a long rest. You can also cast them with other spell slots you have. Int, Wisdom, or Charisma as your spellcasting ability for these spells. Do you need a spellcasting ability for those? Whatever, I guess you have to put that in there. When you reach character level 3, you always have the See Invisibility spell prepared. You can cast it the same way. Spells in the mark. If you have the spellcasting or pact magic feature, the spells in the mark detection table are added to that feature's spell list. Detect evil and good, identify, detect thoughts, find traps, clairvoyance, non-detection, arcane eye, divination, legend lore. Wow!
Ooh, legend lore.
I do think, now that you're saying all this, I think I remember that basically it's kind of like encouraged that every PC in a party has a dragon mark and has different ones if you're playing in Eberron.
Gotcha.
It's supposed to be like you're a special person type deal where like people who have dragon marks are like, they're special.
So it's like
Eberron
a worse
setting.
version of the god boons.
Kind of.
Interesting.
And it's also a thing to be like, you could also give this to a character during the campaign as well. It's kind of meant to more, in my opinion, it's meant to more be like a milestone type beat where it's like the DM just gives you the feat rather than you get it on a level up. Because they're very thematic, as you can tell.
Well, I like this one a lot. I don't know if this is what the old one is like or what, but the fact that you get all those spell lists or spells added to your list, and then also you can cast some of them for free, pretty handy.
I don't know if there were this many in the older one.
There are a
Yeah.
bunch. Do
And
we
they're
want to
all
pick some that are like highlights?
Well, we got to talk about the epic boon, but I figured we could save that one for the
Yeah.
end of them.
I kind of want to take it. Well, we read the mark of detection. Let me see if I can find the greater mark of detection and see the difference, and then we can.
It is
imagine
almost
the rest.
all the way. Actually, no, not. It's on page 13 on the right
see.
side.
So greater mark of detection, you have to be level 4, and you have to have the mark of detection feat. Increase one ability score of your choice by 1 up to 20. Improved intuition, when you use the deductive intuition benefit of your mark of detection feat, you can roll a d6 instead of a d4. And improved detection, when you cast the invisibility, you can modify it so that for the duration of the spell, you have advantage on initiative rolls, and enemies that roll initiative within 30 feet if you can't get advantage on the roll. And you can't do that except for once per long rest. Okay, interesting. So it looks like they're all going to be that same way. I actually don't hate that at all. I actually really like this idea of the scaling feats, although it is a single scale. It's you start with it, you get your next feat, it improves.
Yep.
But sure, I like that. I wish there were more of these.
We are always looking for ways, like more things that grow with you as your character progresses.
There's a lot of these. For reference, I'll just say what the other ones on the table are. There's Mark of Detection, Mark of Finding, Mark of Handling, Mark of Healing, Mark of Hospitality, Mark of Making, Mark of Passage, and Mark of Scribing. Oh wait, it goes to the top of the page. Mark of Sentinel, Mark of Shadow, Mark of Storm, and Mark of Warding, and Potent Dragon Mark. And all of those, except for the Potent one, have a greater variety, including Greater Aberrant Mark. That one also is there.
So what does Greater Aberrant even do?
I imagine it does that same thing. It increases a d6 instead of a d4. It probably gives you an increase in a stat, and then... Well, then I don't know after that. Probably does something with the Aberrant Surge. Greater Aberrant Surge. Or maybe just Greater Surge. There's a lot of different stuff here. Anything else after this? The Epic Boon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys want to look at the epic boon of Sybaris?
Yes, but I do want to quickly look at this Potent one again as well, because its prerequisite is also being level 4+ and having any Dragon Mark.
One thing the Greater Aberrant actually does a little bit different is it makes it from being whenever you cast a spell to whenever you cast a cantrip.
Ah, that is
It does
better.
that thing where you got to roll, and then if it's a odd or an even, it does the thing.
That is better. Potent Dragon Mark requires you to be level 4 and have any of the Dragon Mark feats. You increase the spellcasting ability score used by your Dragon Mark feat by 1 up to a maximum of 20. You always have the spell on your Dragon Mark feat spells of the Mark list, if any, prepared. Dragonmark spellcasting. You have one spell slot to cast the spells granted by your Dragonmark feat. The spell slot's level is 1/2 your level, round up to a maximum of level 5. You regain the expended spell slot when you finish a short or long rest. You can use the spell slot to cast only a spell that you have prepared because of your Dragonmark feat or the Dragonmark's preparation benefit of this feat. That's also pretty good.
Especially since it's 1/2 of your level round up.
Mm.
A rare occurrence.
I just be thinking, like, if you go back to that table from Mark of Detection, you can cast a Legend Lore once a day for free.
Hell yeah.
That's crazy. And that's just that one. I mean, like, there's all these other ones. Like, there's a Mark of Healing, gives you greater restoration, mass healing word for free.
That's pretty good.
Divination. Speak with plants for free. Could go crazy.
But what about this epic boon? This is new.
Goodberry for free. Okay, yeah, epic boon. Sorry.
Goodberry for free.
They didn't have epic boons back when
Eberron?
Eberron came out.
Let's see. Boon of syphilis.
Siberia.
Yeah.
Now you see my struggle, why I didn't know what it said.
Increase one ability score of your choice by 1 to a maximum of 30. Aberrant magic. Choose a spell of any level from the Sorcerer's spell list or a spell from the Sybaris Dragonmark's table. You always have that spell prepared. You can cast it once without a spell slot, and you regain the ability to cast it in that way when you finish a short or long rest. You can also cast this spell using any spell slots you have. Int, Wisdom, or Charisma is your spellcasting ability for the spell. Choose when you gain this feat. And then
Some of these are pretty good.
Yeah, they all are high level. Trucing, Teleport, Animal Shapes, Regenerate, Hero's Feast, Demiplane, Plane Shift, Symbol, Mind Blank, Project Image, Control Weather, and Maze.
But can you cast semi-plane?
No.
Yes. Once per short or long rest. The fact that it's once per short or long is crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's Teleport, man.
That's
One
pretty
teleport
sick.
for short or long is crazy. Same for True Seeing, actually.
You could get in like 4 or 5 teleports a day if you just
Hero's
keep short
Feast.
resting.
Yeah. Symbol, Mind Blank, Control Weather, Maze, ooh. That one's not bad. But this makes sense because it is your epic boon. You get one per character at level 19, so sure. I'm surprised this wasn't their recommended one for the Artificer.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about earlier, is I was like, why didn't they? Which, I mean, I guess I kind of understand because they're trying to make it so that, you know, Artificer doesn't have to 100% be connected to Eberron.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the little epic bone.
Yeah. Also, this is just all the ones you can get from the Dragonmarks table. It says you can get that or from the Sorcerer spell list.
Mm-hmm. So you could pick like any 9th level spell.
And get it once per short or long rest for freebie.
Hell yeah.
Wish.
I wish.
That's actually crazy because you could do anything you wish. Well, I don't know. I don't remember how the 2024 version works. But the old version stipulates you can cast any 8th level or lower spell with Wish without needing any of the other stuff for it.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you just do that? Why would you?
'Cause not everybody needs Wish, I guess.
I mean, I suppose the DM could just be like, no, I'm not going to let you take Wish.
That may be just like a table ruling.
But yeah, no. As written, you should just be able to.
So all in all, I actually like this one quite a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Though, admittedly, I don't know how different it is from what we have in 2014 / just, you know.
I think it's a bit more expansive than what the Dragon Marks were in the 2014 version, although I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know that.
Oh.
He doesn't know it.
Oh. Eberron, if I remember correctly, is not a book you can get on D&D Beyond. So
It's not?
the extensive what may or may not be actually in the setting book for the Dragon Marks, I have no idea of because vast majority of my collection is on D&D Beyond. It's digital.
You can, in fact, get it.
You can?
And we have it.
I thought that
Or
because
is that the adventurer's like guide version of it?
It's the source. It's Eberron rising from something.
Because I bought stuff from Eberron back when on D&D Beyond you could just you could nitpick the things out and buy, like, I want this race, I want this class, I want these magic items.
Oh, yeah, no, there it is.
It was a big deal right around when we started playing D&D because it won that fan thing, and they were like, they're getting a book, and then they got a book, and everybody was like, ah!
Yeah.
Well, then that means that it is not very extensive at all, because I know, like, there's, like, 2 or 3. Yeah, here's all the dragon marks.
I've always seen them in the feat list, but I've never been...
They have all of the regular ones, but none of the greater ones exist. There's no progression.
Yeah.
Like there is in this. And obviously there's not the epic boon.
Mm. And I wonder if those work the same way, but I'm not sure.
I'll read one off.
Mm.
The old version of the Mark of Detection is... Oh, they also have variant versions of it for specific races as well.
Oh, yeah, because that's like it used to be that you could pick a race, and then it started with the dragon mark.
Yes, because in Eberron, like, certain races are more likely to have certain ones. So, Mark of Detection. It's giving me something about, like, a guild. Your wisdom score increases by 2, one other ability score by 1. When you make an investigation or insight check, you roll a d4, add it to the number. You can cast Detect Magic, Detect Poison, and Disease spells starting at 3rd level. You can also cast See Invisibility. Once you cast any of the spells with this trait, you can't do that again until you finish a long rest. Wisdom is your spellcasting ability, and you don't require material components. And if you have the spellcasting or pack magic class feature, the spells on the Mark of Detection spell table are added to the spell list of your spellcasting class. So if you're a spellcaster.
So pretty much.
So you can't get those spells if you're not a spellcaster in the old versions.
But pretty much the same.
Yeah, roughly.
Because those all are the same. But hey.
Like 90% the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
No longer
They
restricted.
didn't ruin it.
Well, not necessarily restricted, but you no longer get like extra stuff for being certain races.
Yeah. I'm just glad, like I said, they didn't ruin it. They didn't gut it and make Mark of Detection be like, you can cast Hunter's Mark if you are a paladin.
Yep.
That's all we ask, is that they just don't ruin their own source material.
You can cast Blade Ward if you are, I don't know.
If you're a fighter and you have access to spellcasting. Oh, okay. But yeah, I like this. I like the Artificer. I like the Cartographer, and I like these feats and the progression of these feats.
Not bad.
There is an optional Greater Aberrant Powers in the old one, but it's not like this at all. Yeah. Upon reaching 10th level, such a character has a 10% chance of gaining an epic boon from among the options of Chapter 7 of the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Oh.
So it does not work the same way at all. It's just completely different. It's...
Alright. Well, that's Eberron. Any other thoughts, anybody, about Eberron?
That's everything that we're ever going to get from Eberron for the rest of time now.
Probably.
Never again.
At least to the next edition.
Yep. I'm good. I liked it. Hey, I did manifest it.
You did.
Actually.
Apparently the manifesting worked.
I actually enjoyed the UA. So, it wasn't as bad.
Was for them to not change everything and to make a really silly subclass.
Yep.
Now just wait till we get through the monster manual.
Nope, not happening.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed the episode you just listened to. If you really like our content, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on YouTube, and look for us on Spotify. If you'd like to see us continuing to do more fun projects in the future, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can find our page linked in the description above all of our other social media links. And finally, if you'd like to keep up with the zany shenanigans of our lives and check out some more skit-based content and things like that, check us out on Twitter and TikTok, links in the description. And hey, thanks!